Hello, everyone. I'm Jason. Today I want to share with you a comfy workflow. This workflow is the workflow for random background display of clothing products in the previous video that I want to share with you a commercially designated model. Of course, it has a good sense of authenticity and photography, and has a good effect on showing the clothing. It is mainly able to generate any knowledge we have in one click based on the specific clothing of a specific model. Display image of any scene. It's much better than a display of dressing up by someone who does this kind of dress alone. Let's talk about this workflow. I'll recommend a platform to you, because the local requirements for this model and workflow are getting higher and higher now. My workflow may have to 16 video memory. The higher the accuracy of the workflow and model, of course, the higher the hardware requirements. Then I want to recommend this platform, which is the Running Hub platform. It is able to provide 48 GB 4090 graphics cards, which is fully capable of running most of our workflows on the market. Now, through the introduction area, you will get 1000 points, and you will get 100 points every day when you log in. There is also a free quick creation here, and there is a free credit every day. We can all come here to try it out and play. Some of the latest nano banana models, which are known as the strongest in the universe, and tattoo videos, tattoo pictures are okay. All of these functions are available in single videos, and you can try them for free. Of course, I will update some workflows regularly on my homepage. You can also come here to give it a try. Okay, get back to the point. Let's take a look at this workflow. First of all, this workflow consists of 3 parts. One is a tattoo image of this career model, generating such a scene image. Then, through this one reward, a clothing migration is carried out. Finally, another post-processing is carried out, including texture enhancement and image enlargement. Then, including a face change, all of them are completed here. This combines these 3 parts to complete a good book picture of our book. Next, let's analyze this workflow carefully. First of all, this scene generation part. It consists of 2 parts. One is a basic tattoo graphics model by Flux Korea. Then I added a landscape, outdoor scenery, or environment LoRa. And a LoRa with this texture enhancement, skin details enhancement. Then, I added a speed-up node like wave speed. Then let us save our generation time soon. In this way, a set of things can give us a good sense of atmosphere to the initial scene map we generate. Then, I also carried out a face migration of Pool ID. Of course, I have tested the effect of face migration. The face recognition of this long-term vision may not be very strong. It can only have a good effect in some particularly quiet situations, especially when face close-ups like this. You can remove it as appropriate when using it, because your usage needs may be different, so I will keep it here. Then here, I also performed a face cutting, which means that we cut the face of the original model so that our Pool ID and the later face change can better identify a feature of our face. Then next is our dress-up process. First of all, of course, we will carry out a picture protection process for one of our product and scene pictures. First of all, this product picture. Generally speaking, the background of our product pictures is relatively simple. Of course, if I have done a situation where I put the bottom of the situation in more complicated situations, this enables our subsequent model to be better identified when using this analysis. Then, the model's clothes are cut out for this scene, so that we can accurately identify it when we repaint it later. Then I want to say something else here, that is, this is what we said in the last video, and we must keep this mask extension and try it out. Because this can simulate the effect of applying our hands or applying it. If we talk about our application effect when the range is relatively small, it will be difficult for the model to perform well, and it will even affect its identification. This is something to pay attention to. Now that we have processed the product and scene pictures, we are going to carry out a clothing migration. Before the migration, I added this step of the picture push prompt word. This step is mainly to better let our model understand some details of our clothing, including these buttons, necklines, and other details. Have a better understanding. Then I use this Joy Caption Beta 1 node. Then this node describes this picture in a relatively comprehensive way. Then we will come to the basic picture and picture workflow of OneReward. The operation we should pay attention to here is that we are the best way to connect the scene picture we had in front with our clothing product picture. In this way, when the model repaints the clothes, we can understand the appearance of our model and the clothes well. Our costume looks like. Of course, I may not have a good understanding of the appearance of this band on my side. Of course, this can be understood through this card draw. The main reason is that this possibility is not so reasonable when generated, so you can perform a card draw process in the future. This way, this kind of problem can basically be solved well. Then next we will come to the post-processing part. Before post-processing, I also performed a crop operation so that we can connect this part. Cut out the result graph we want. First of all, I made a preliminary repair in this post-processing part. One is the sepia node and the face refinement node. It can well provide a clearness to our pictures, including a reinforcement of the texture. Of course, I am also the VR node of this C, which is a node and a model that may have been relatively new some time ago. As for that node, I might try it and create more points. Then I changed the way, which was to use the combination of these two. Let's talk about it specifically. First of all, this amplification node. It can first enhance some of our textures with a step forward in clarity. Then the face is refined, and this node mainly strengthens our texture. In other words, one is to strengthen the definition and the other is to strengthen the texture. You can see this result. Although there is a change in the face here, we will have to change the face later. The main reason is that you can see a texture here, especially a background like ceramic tiles, including the texture reinforcement of the tiles on the floor. The effect is relatively good. The effect is relatively good. After magnifying the texture clarity, I performed another operation of face change. You can see that after changing your face, you are a little bit like our model. Including the naturalness of our faces has also improved a lot. After a face change, I performed a Situation plus Hirus plus TTP block amplification operation. This Hirus is also a model that has just been open-sourced recently by the brain. It can greatly enlarge the lossless image for our image. Of course, I have also added a fusion of light and shadow, including an enhancement of this detail, including this fusion, light, and shadow fusion, etc. It can have a good effect on our later lighting. You can also perform a fusion replacement here according to your own needs, and achieve the effect you want. In the end, this picture looks like this, and the effect is quite good. That's probably the workflow. You can come and try it. Finally, I want to say one more thing, which is the enhancement of this texture. Because what I often use here is to strengthen, and refine this, and perform one of these two nodes. Copia, clarity and a texture enhancement. Then these two may be slightly worse. Then I tried a node called Geek Gap Pixel. Its texture display is very strong. You can take a look at a display picture I made before. Is this texture very strong? Of course, I haven't conducted a texture test for this yet. But this node is strong, and it is actually strong, but it seems that it cannot be used on R at present, so I did not add it to this stream. If you have local users, you can add it, which may have better results. Then there is another problem, that is, this link change may still be a relatively big problem so far. There is still a certain gap with our original picture. Then I will do another supplement in a later stage. Okay, everyone is welcome to watch, thank you. Thanks.